Hello and welcome everybody. It's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today for the Courageous Capricorn October horoscope. What a big month we all have coming up. We've got Mercury, Saturn and Pluto turning direct. Mercury's turning direct on the 2nd or the 3rd, depending on where you are in the world. With those three planets going direct, that's going to give us a big push forward finally. You know, we'll feel like life is running a little bit more smoothly perhaps. The other thing is that there's a solar eclipse in Scorpio, and for you that brings quite a strong impact on your friends, groups and connections. So you might find yourself meeting new friends. Okay, there's a lot more happening as well, but just to briefly explain, I like to draw two tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. Okay, if you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to this board. Now, we'll do the cards first, and then we'll come and talk about all of this. Okay, so the first card of the month for Courageous Capricorns, closing my eyes now, I see a pool table. And so life is a bit like a game of pool. You know, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes the ball goes where you want it to go, another time it jumps off the table altogether. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, so this card also came out for Sagittarius. So here we are again. And this is about nurturance, looking after your family, looking after yourself. And if you don't have children to look after, then it's your inner child. Okay, so she likes to play, and she wants to have fun, leisure and pleasure becomes more important. You'll see here in your astrology chart that we have the North Node here in your 5th house calling you to a future or a destiny of pleasure, so entertainment becomes more important, but home and hearth is part of that, and maybe you're entertaining at home or, you know, having pleasurable experiences at home. Okay, that's the first card, and then the second card of the month. I'll just close my eyes for you, dear Capricorns. What do I see? What's that? Oh, okay, it's all about your creativity. I see somebody painting, like an artist with an artist's easel and painting. It's like a picture of your life. It's what you want it to be. You might find that the broad brushstrokes have already been put in, and you get to colour in around the outlines, but you decide what colour. Even if the basic template's already there, you get to make decisions about the direction of your life. Okay, and that is in accordance with Uranus here, bringing unusual things around your creativity and also your North Node. But let's have a look at the card. The card that comes up is the Justice card. This is about natural law, L-O-R-E, rather than human law, L-A-W. But if you do have a legal case, then this energy will certainly help you. You'll see a lot of red here. That's all about taking action. But before you can take action, you need to weigh up all of the elements of the situation. Listen to your intuition. See that owl on her shoulder just there? She's listening to that. And then use the sword of truth, which is your logical mind, your analytical ability to cut through to the core of the issue. Weigh up all of the bits and decide, make a decision which way you're going to go, and then take action. Feet on the ground, be practical, be down to earth. Alrighty, okay, so we'll put that one there and that one there, and I'm just going to make this a bit bigger so you can see what is happening here. Alright, and there's a fair bit. Now, obviously the first thing that might strike you is, what is this box in the middle of the chart? Okay, for a few hours on the 30th of September if you're in Australia and New Zealand, or the 1st of October if you're in the UK or the USA, we have a thing called a Grand Cross. It brings intense challenges. There's 4 squares there, so intense challenges regarding your subconscious forces, growing your life, but with Mercury, that's about communications and ideas. It could be your daily habits or your routines, your work or your health, and also spirituality, involving communications as well. So just be a little bit cautious on those 2 days, 30th and the 1st, because this intense situation will probably only last for a few hours, because the moon travels very fast, and the moon will move, and then this top part will, this whole Grand Cross will dissolve, and we'll be left with Mercury, Mars, and Neptune forming a T-square. So it's not like completely resolved, but the edge or the intensity is taken off a fair bit. Mercury direct, Saturn and Pluto direct as well, the solar eclipse, and Jupiter and Mars retrograde on the 28th and 30th. All right, let's have a look at this in depth now. The 30th to the 2nd sees, the 29th to the 4th sees Mercury retrograde opposition Neptune. This is really not a very good time to sign a contract or make an important decision about something, because your thinking could be a bit vague or confused. Mercury retrograde often does result in misunderstandings or miscommunications. With Neptune, sometimes that's illusion and delusion. Somebody could be out to deceive you as well, so just watch for that. And at this time, you're probably more swayed by your feelings than your logical mind, which is a fabulous thing if you're an artist or you're a creative person. This will help you a lot. The 5th to the 8th, Mercury is now direct and it's trining Pluto, and this brings very in-depth conversations at a very deep level, and you could find yourself hearing secrets or all manner of intimate details about other people. You could be asking sort of penetrating questions because you want to get right to the core of the matter, and superficial answers don't really do it for you. You've got to get right down deep. It's an excellent time for solving a complex problem or a mystery. You might also find something that's been lost as well, and you might learn more about your own inner depths. And then we have Mars opposition Moon from the 8th to the 16th. Do watch for impatience, incidents, accidents, and irritability. Could be a bit of friction with other people at the moment, especially important partners, children, or parents. There could be some unresolved feelings and issues from the past that come up, and some sort of emotional outbursts, so do watch for that one. 8th to the 18th sees Mars squares Neptune, and this is also quite a confusing and depleting time. It's just that it's not time to really start new things with gusto or with energy. It's more about you looking within, having quiet time, being gentle with yourself and managing your own energy. But it is fabulous for your imagination. You could have a lot of fantasies or strange desires. Write them all down. You might be able to use them if you're a creative person. It's quite a fertile time for artists and musicians, for example. The 9th sees a hunter's full moon here in your 4th house of home and family. So a bit of turbulence. Maybe there's an issue with a family member. It could be a child, for example, that something comes up, or something around your actual physical home. Your reactions could be bold or impulsive because it's in Aries. So, yeah, take a deep breath and don't rush into anything. The 10th sees Mercury entering Libra up here in your 10th house. And This is actually lovely for communications, especially regarding your career and your reputation, or maybe an authority figure such as a parent. These communications are likely to be very well meaning, and it could resolve some old issue that might have come up recently, and there's a healing or a resolution around it. Then we have the 11th to the 22nd, Mars squaring Mercury, so watch this one. So it might be, because this can bring irritability and arguments, and yet you have that beautiful energy there around your career or reputation. So, you might find it's a bit of both. And something starts off beautiful and then it sort of degenerates. But yeah, be careful that you've got your brain in gear before you actually open your mouth, because something could just fly out of your mouth, unexpectedly. From the 17th to the 12th of November, Jupiter squares your ascendant. Now, this is actually really good because it could be some sort of offer or some sort of promising opportunity on the cards here. And not only does it help you, it helps another person as well. So it'll be mutually beneficial. The 23rd sees Venus entering Scorpio here in your 11th house, bringing a graciousness to your friends, groups and connections. And even if it's in Scorpio, you'll find this graciousness is sort of compelling or magnetic. You could meet a beautiful person through Venus. Venus loves beautiful people. And your hopes and dreams could also be affected in some way. Because it's Venus, it's likely to be quite positive, in fact. The 23rd also sees the Sun jump in on the party here, bringing insight and awareness and perhaps even happiness or stability around your friends and connections or the new people that you meet. The solar eclipse is also there, and so this will also bring new beginnings around your friends, groups and connections and your hopes and dreams. Maybe you're feeling you've got new hopes and dreams, and things are looking up. So you'll have realizations that'll be illuminated or made physical in some way so that you can see them, and you could be feeling quite inspired. The 28th sees Jupiter going retrograde in Pisces here in your 3rd house. Now, normally when a planet goes retrograde, things go quieter, but in the case of Jupiter, which tends to be larger than large, it can bring some realism, and this will be around your communications, studying, or perhaps your local area. There's also a possibility distant relatives could be involved, but it's probably, like I said, not negative. It's probably more about putting your feet on the ground and realising the limitations of the relationship with your brother or whatever who lives in another country or something like that. Sometimes people internalise their feelings with retrograding planets. It doesn't mean that whatever the situation is that you want to happen, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It just means it's probably not the right time yet. The 29th sees Mercury also entering the fray up here in your 11th house, the 11th house party. So lots of communications and ideas about new people, your hopes and dreams, and also groups. You might be thinking of joining a new group, for example. The 30th sees Mars retrograde here in your 6th house. And so you might feel a bit demotivated or a little bit flat in your normal everyday routine, or perhaps at work. Things are just a bit, ho-hum. There's nothing drastically wrong, but there's nothing drastically right. You just feel maybe a bit jaded or unmotivated generally. Also with your health, you might not have the vitality that you normally have. It's just a time when, and we all go through this, it's just a time when we need a bit of R&R, we need to relax a bit more, not push ourselves, to be a bit more gentle and quieter with the way that we do things. Do watch for unnecessary arguments at work or in your everyday life, however. All right, so that's it. Pretty big month coming up, courageous Capricorns, for everybody. Saturn, your ruler, continues here in your second house, limiting your money, or maybe it's making you be very careful with your money, which I think is probably a good strategy to take. Okay, so that's it. I hope this is useful for you. Thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate that. If you're new, subscribe, be alive, and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful month, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.